Okay, so Final Fantasy 15, some gameplay, a little different than what we see in a big boss. Kind of.
Pun intended.
Yeah, Titan.
Yeah, right. There we go, Titan. I was waiting for you to tell me what it was.
Yeah.
A Titan, and I just was like, what is going on in this demo? I don't really understand. You're getting slapped by a hand, you keep making weird noises, and then you teleport around. Are you taking damage? Are you not? I don't know.
Are you dealing damage? It doesn't
Right.
look
There
like
was
it.
no indication at all for that.
Yeah.
As a Final Fantasy like noob, like I don't know a whole lot about it. I was even lost. Like you figure if it's a new fan, they'll come in and be like, "Oh, cool! Look at this. I don't know what's going on. I'm absorbed." But I was like, "I'm new. What's going on? What's going on?" Kind of. So, Ronan, we'll start with you this time. How did you feel about this? How did you feel about the game, and then how did you feel about this presentation?
First of all, regardless of how that presentation went, I'm still excited for the game, and it's due out in September. I got my pre-order ready to go, so let's make that happen.
There you go.
I'm excited for it. I think the game is still going to be great, but that demo was not a selling point for that game whatsoever. Maybe it's a case of it was just a live demo, a vertical slice of gameplay of the game. But when I sat there and watched it and commentated, I had like a flashback to like 2006 when they first announced this game. Versus 13 is what it was originally called.
Okay.
And the director said, "Hey, we're going to make the combat. We're going to have the Kingdom Hearts team on this." So that gave me the idea that it was going to be real-time combat, which it is, of course. But having gone back and played Kingdom Hearts, there are things in those games that really stick out to me like a sore thumb in this combat. For the fact that you are swinging your weapon, and sometimes when your target is not there, you are just flailing your keyblade around aimlessly at nothing. And that's very annoying, and it doesn't flow together very well. Also, there's a lot of moments where you're sitting there waiting for the opponent to do an attack to proceed to the next phase of combat.
Right.
And fast forward to this, it was kind of the same thing, where you were waiting for your opponent to do a certain attack before you moved on to the next phase. And there were missions saying like, "Hey, destroy the Titan's arm to fend them off." I was like, I don't know if I want to see more of that, whether that be in Kingdom Hearts or in Final Fantasy in this. And it seems like they're kind of going that same route.
It just seems so like, I don't know. It just like there was no detection of what was going on. It was just like
it seemed chaotic. It seemed very chaotic.
Like when he was getting hit by the hand, like I couldn't tell if he was taking damage or if he intentionally was doing that, and it felt like he was getting like stuck in certain things. Yong, how did you feel about the presentation, and then how do you feel about the game? Reverse.
Yeah, that presentation blew. It was horrible.
And the noises the guy was making.
I don't even think the player knew what the fuck was going on. He looked just as confused as everyone else.
Yeah.
I don't know if just something happened there that we don't know about, but yeah, I really hope that isn't representation of the final game. I hope we're just looking at hopefully one portion of the Titan battle. I hope that's not the extent of the whole battle where he just flails literally just the left arm. He just punches you with the
left-handed,
left arm.
Bro.
Yeah, he's left-handed, I guess.
I guess so.
Confirmed. And so, yeah, like you guys said, it was chaotic. It was just a poor representation of the final game. And I've seen other footage that looks amazing. The combat, you can see it flowing really well. And, you see Noctis battling multiple enemies at the same time. And it just looks really cool. But, yeah, I think this was just one hitch in what I hope to be an amazing game. They recently announced the addition of a wait mode. I don't know if you guys saw that. And that actually looked really cool. It's basically like when you're not doing anything with your controller, the game just pauses and you can, that alleviates some of that chaos that people might experience with this combat style, this Kingdom Hearts combat style. So, and again, I've seen great footage of Final Fantasy 15. This might be the first one where I'm like, wow, that looks horrible.
Yeah, it just looked really bad.
So I think it had a lot to do with the player, and maybe they just haven't refined this battle quite
as good as they thought.
Yeah, as good as they thought. Hopefully they'll go back to that and really flesh that out.
Yeah,
Got
a couple months left. Got to make that happen.
Yeah.
That's a good point because I think the whoever demos these games aren't necessarily the people who make them and code them, and those guys might be really good at the battles and testing, and they might get through it a lot easier than this guy who's just here doing the demo.
Yeah, they might have thought it looked and sounded great on paper and stuff like that, but when you got to the press conference and actually tried to execute that, it was a different topic of discussion. And like I saw a different demo of that, like a different person playing it. It still seemed very chaotic, but from what I've seen, you do take damage. You can actually die during that fight if you're not careful. But it's still the same case of wait for this guy's arm to swing, and it's just his left arm.
Yeah.
Then block it, then rinse and repeat. And like some of the animation didn't flow well with that.
Yeah, like the weird teleporting and stuff.
Yeah, like it didn't flow well. Like he blocked his hand, he sent it back, and his hand would go up like this, and then stop, and then it would come down for the next attack. I'm just like, can it just continue to keep flowing? That doesn't look very good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.